They say if you whistle in the Appalachian Mountains after dark, something will whistle back. I used to think that was just an old story until the night I proved it true. I grew up in a beautiful old farmhouse tucked deep in the Appalachian Mountains, surrounded by woods so thick you couldn't see 100 feet once the sun went down. I'd heard all the old stories, the ones about never whistling at night. My grandma used to say, if you whistle after dark, something out there will whistle back. I always laughed it off. Folklore, I thought, just mountain talk to scare kids. One weekend, my parents went out of town to visit friends, and I stayed home alone. I was 16 and thought I was grown. The first night was quiet, just crickets and the occasional dog barking somewhere off in the valley. But when the sun started dipping behind the ridge, I remembered that old superstition. I don't even know why I did it. Curiosity, maybe? Or maybe I just wanted to prove there was nothing to fear. I stepped out onto the porch as the last bit of sunlight faded, took a deep breath, and whistled. Just a short, sharp note that echoed through the trees. At first, nothing happened. I almost laughed, but then somewhere far off, a whistle answered. The exact same tune. My blood went cold. I stood there frozen, staring at the dark line of trees. Then another whistle closer this time. I didn't wait to hear a third. I bolted inside, slammed the door, and locked it. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I tried to tell myself it was just someone camping or maybe a bird echoing the sound, but deep down I didn't believe that. To calm myself, I put on a funny movie and turned the volume up. I tried to laugh, tried to act normal. Eventually, I went to bed, telling myself I'd been silly. Sometime in the night, just as I was drifting off, a scream tore through the air. It wasn't far. It sounded like a woman high-pitched and sudden and then silence. I sat straight up in bed, heart pounding, holding my breath. The house was completely still. I told myself it was a dream, maybe a nightmare. I laid back down and stared at the ceiling, trying to slow my breathing. Then, through the stillness, I heard it, whistling. That same tune I had made. It came from outside my window, slow and careful, like whoever or whatever it was wanted me to know they were there. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The sound stopped, and for a while, I lay there frozen, eyes wide open in the dark. Eventually, I must have dozed off out of pure exhaustion. Sometime around 3 a.m., I woke up again. Only this time, it wasn't the whistling that woke me. It was a knock, 3 soft knocks, on my bedroom door. I didn't move. I didn't even blink. I just stared at the door, praying I was still dreaming. The knocking stopped, then nothing. I lay there for hours, too scared to make a sound, until the first light crept through my curtains. When I finally got the nerve to sit up, I saw something that made my stomach drop. My bedroom door was open. I swear I had locked it the night before. My hands were shaking as I got out of bed and walked into the hallway. That's when I saw the front door wide open, the cold morning air spilling in. The floorboards creaked behind me like someone had just walked past. Then, clear as day, I heard it again. That same whistle. And before I could even react, the front door slammed shut so hard the walls shook. I don't remember unlocking my car or even starting it. I drove straight to my grandmother's house down the mountain and stayed with her for the next night. I didn't go back home until my parents returned Sunday evening. I never told them what happened. They just say it was my imagination. But I still hear that whistle sometimes when the wind moves through the trees just right, or when the night goes too quiet. And every time I do, I remember what I did. I whistled, and something out there whistled back.